The New Zealand Gaming Championships League of Legends Premiership is presented by Let's Play Live, Australasia's new home of esports at letsplay.live. Logitech G, bringing you winning gaming devices. Mice, keyboards, headsets and controllers. Game with passion, win with science. Logitech G. Twitch, the world's leading social video platform and community for gamers. Twitch.tv. The NZGC is powered by Playtech. Technology at play. Playtech is the #1 custom PC system builder in New Zealand. Visit playtech.co.nz. Players stay at Adina Apartment Hotel at Britomart, Auckland. Book today at adinahotels.com. Adina, official accommodation of the NZGC. Now, let the gaming begin.
Villains versus Too Easy. Week 2, Match 1 of the NZGC League of Legends Premiership. And of course, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the Hexadome. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Matt Pixie Carroll, and with me here, as always, is Matt Smart Ross.
Welcome back, everyone. We've got 6 weeks and 6 teams to go through for the NZGC. However, we're at the top of week number 2. In week 1, we had a ton of action and some of the best series of League of Legends I've personally ever seen in New Zealand. But we've got 2 groups of 3 teams. They'll be playing within those groups and occasionally once per week playing against a team from the other group to see how they match up.
Yeah, with that all in mind, let's go ahead and take a look at how this week just been played out. Getting to see these teams for the first time, of course.
Now, last week on Saturday, the first matchup was King 5 against Tiger Eye. Tiger Eye taking out the first game, but King 5 taking it back with 2 wins in a row. Then it was Too Easy, getting a 2-1 against DNA in a back-and-forth match that ended in a 3rd game. And then the featured matchup, the crossover matchup, was the Villains taking out our first 2-0 against Decode Esports.
So let's take a look at how that is translated to the leaderboards. Of course, currently topping the tables is the Villains, the only team to pull out a 2-0 win this week, walking away with 4 points. Tied for second is, of course, King 5 and Too Easy, both picking up a 2-1 victory, walking away with 3 points. Tied for third will be DNA and Tiger Eye at 1 point apiece. And at the bottom of the standings is Decode, who, of course, were taken out by the Villains this Wednesday just been. So pretty exciting stuff. Let's go ahead and take a look at how this next week is going to be playing out.
Well, this next week is going to be pretty exciting. First up, though, is tonight. It's the Villains, the returning champions, taking on the 2nd seed from the major qualifier, Too Easy. Then tomorrow night on Sunday, it's Tiger Eye taking on Decode Esports. And then on Wednesday, it's our crossover matchup live on Sky Sport 3, playing with the players here from the Hexadome, King 5 taking on DNA.
And, of course, for some people, that Sky Sport was the first time they got to see some League of Legends. So if this is now your first time tuning into our online broadcasts, first of all, thank you very much and welcome. Second of all, we expect you'd like to know maybe a little bit more about what you're about to see. And to help you do that is, of course, Laurie Pops.
Hey guys, my name is Laurie Pops and I'm here to help you get to know more about League of Legends and esports in general. And the best place to start is at the beginning. What is League of Legends? League of Legends is a team-oriented strategy game. The goal is to work together with your teammates to bring down the enemy nexus, located in the middle of their base, and do it before they take down yours. The action takes place in the Summoner's Rift, the League of Legends playing field. It's made up of 3 lanes, bot for bottom, mid for middle, and top for top. Each lane is a path between the 2 bases guarded by powerful turrets. Teams need to take down these turrets to enter the enemy base and destroy the nexus to win. Between the lanes is the jungle, a shadowy area filled with powerful monsters that can beat the heck out of an unprepared champion. But you can earn lots of gold by taking them down, and experts in the jungle can be the difference between winning and losing. It all sounds pretty straightforward, but making it happen is a little bit harder. Players start by choosing a champion, each one with different strengths and personalities. Some are sharp, shooting marksmen working from a distance, or burly fighters who like to get up in your face. Others are spellcasters using magical powers to trap and damage the enemy. However you like to get things done, there's a champion out there to match your style. And that is the basics of League of Legends. Use teamwork, skill, and strategy to take down the enemy, while they try to do exactly the same back. Enjoy tonight's matchup. This is Laurie Potts logging out. See you later.
All right, so now that you know a little bit more of the game, how about we get to know the players a little bit? Who have we got this week, Matt?
All right, so two teams facing off tonight, of course. It's going to be the Villains against 2Easy. Let's have a look at some of the players from the Villains first, returning champions. Some amazing players. Up in the top lane, it's going to be Bun Bun. Prowling in the jungle is Dolphs. In the middle lane is Kensty. And down in the bottom lane, working together, is Shiny as AD carry and Perkle as support.
Well-known team, to be sure. Of course, Dolph's capping up in the jungle. Always a strong player. Coming up against them tonight, though, is, of course, going to be 2Easy. Jack Attack, one of the longest-running players in the region, up in top lane. Rin Toyama in the jungle. Kale, another legacy player in the mid lane. And in the bottom lane, Blinky and Cupcake at AD carry and support, respectively. The superstar lane, those two. So, I feel like 2Easy possibly going to draw blood tonight.
I think so. Out of any of the teams that we're looking at in the NZGC, 2Easy definitely up there in some of the teams' favour to not only take a game off the Villains, but even take a series. But we are now in Champion Select. We're ready to get on to match 1 of tonight of this best of 3 series.
So, of course, you have now got to know the game, got to know the players. Now we're going to get to know what they want to play. Jeez, quick-fire bans to start it off.
Oh yeah, no, teams know exactly what they want to take off the table here. Just on a brief quick look at that, a few target bans actually coming out, particularly the Caitlyn and the Jhin. I have to say, targeting AD carries on both sides. Blinky and Shiny, some of the most respected in those roles in the NZGC.
Yeah, I'm really not surprised to see those coming out as it is. But of course, that has left both Sivir and Karma on the table. So Karma going to be the first to be locked in there for Villains. And, sorry, that is for 2Easy, in fact. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Sivir locked in for Villains. They're having a bit of a decision. They were hovering Sivir.
I feel like maybe they're just playing a few games with us with what they're hovering over so far. I don't think Twitch is going to get picked up. But the Sivir, yeah, there it goes. It's locked in. Important.
Not surprised.
Important because that takes away the Sivir Karma combination.
Exactly.
Which we actually saw last week. Villains play to really, really good effectiveness. But important to take that away from 2Easy.
Yeah, the Misfortune's just going to be a bit of a hover there. I'm interested to see what they pick up. I wonder if it is actually going to be an Elise lock-in. Going to give that one over to Dolphs. And actually, Dolphs is the one who's picked it as well. So, interesting pick up there for Villains. He actually pulled it out in the first game on Wednesday. Played it to fairly decent effect as well. I mean, it's Dolphs. He's solid on most junglers, to be honest. Yeah, honestly, Elise is one of his biggest champions, most comfortable on that champion. Few more pickups. It's going to be Nidalee and Shen picked up. And, well, Nidalee, again, just a really strong jungler. If you don't get Elise, go ahead, pick up Nidalee. Rek'Sai wasn't banned, was open, but going for more of a damage-oriented style jungler. Yeah, I do like the Nidalee pick up there, especially since they're going with a Shen in top. That makes a lot of sense to me, right? Because Shen is fairly safe, A, to pick in blind, and B, as just a generally strong tank. On the flip side of that matchup, there's going to be Echo, unless that's a really funky Echo mid or something, and Braum being picked up as well to go in with that Sivir. Again, a combination I really am a big fan of. And I don't think this is going to be a Rek'Sai lock-in.
That'd be super interesting.
Yeah, that'd be a bit odd. There we go. It's going to be Lucian for the bottom lane and Victor for the mid.
Quite interesting. It's almost like the AD carries have swapped their preferred supports. Usually you see a Lucian Braum lane and Sivir Karma. But in any case, they both
feel a bit that way.
They do both work well in tandem. The Lucian and Karma particularly I want to talk on. Massive amounts of wave clear, which is what the Sivir Karma lane likes to do.
Now Perkle hovering over Cassiopeia to give over to Kensty in the mid lane. And I do actually like the Victor pickup as well, because that Echo, like I said, could have potentially gone mid. Like, probably not, but maybe. So I kind of like the Victor there because it's decent against most mid laners and would have done decently against the Echo as well. So it kind of calls the flex from that, but it is going to be Cassiopeia locked in against that. How do we feel about these two team comps?
So just at a very, very brief look, both teams running very squishy champions apart from one champion each. over on 2 Easy, right in the top lane. Of course, you've got Shen, one of the biggest tanks in the game. But for the villains, they're running their tank in the support lane, so it's going to take a little bit longer for him to get rolling. But honestly, look for Jack Attack to be the tank in the mid game.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And a lot of just straight up pick potential coming out of the Nidalee and Shen there. One thing to note, though, of course, about the villains is they do get a little bit of tankiness out of Elise and Echo. So I feel like on the whole, 2 Easy, a little bit squishier, but apples and oranges, you know, win some, lose some, someone's going to be squishy at the end of the day. And with those picks in mind, let's go ahead and meet some of these players.
I am Raven. I'm the top laner for King 5 in NZGC.
It's Purple.
Hi, I'm Brawler. I'm the captain and support for Team Tiger.
My in-game name is Dolphs.
I'm Bode. I'm the top laner for Decode.
You're talking to Daniel Yao.
Hi, I'm Ocha1, jungler for Team DNA.
Hey guys, my name's Bill. My GN is Bill as well, and I'm on King 5.
I'm Cupcake.
The first video game I spent a bunch of time on was Age of Empires.
The first video game I fell in love with would probably be Pokemon Yellow on the Game Boy back in the day.
The first video game I fell in love with was probably Neopets.
My favorite game is League of Legends.
RuneScape. I actually spent a lot of time on that game, although a lot of people have something against that. I loved playing it.
First video game I fell in love with was probably Mario. Warcraft 3, just played that all day, loved it.
Probably Crash Bandicoot back when I was like 5 years old. I just remember coming home from primary school and playing on my PlayStation 1 all day, and my mum would come and sit down and play with me as well.
I would have to say Pokemon. I've played since Gen 1 and I'm waiting for Sun and Moon to get released, so still going strong.
Probably Cupcake. He's an amazing support player, and he just outclasses most other players on his role.
I think Dolphs is probably still one of the top lanes in NZGC because of his shot calling and team decisions.
The best players in NZGC is definitely 021, the jungler for DNA.
Shock. He's a monster.
Brawler, the support for Tiger Eye.
The best player in the NZGC is probably me.
I respect most of the players, all the junglers, because obviously they're good enough to be in the NZGC, but probably one I respect the most is Dolphs.
I actually think Shiny is probably one of the better players in the NZGC.
Blanky, 100%. That guy's a monster.
Yeah, we used to play a lot of football and indoor football.
Play a lot of table tennis outside of gaming.
I'm kind of into food these days.
I'm studying computer science at the University of Auckland at the moment, and you know, coding is also one of my hobbies on the side.
Yeah, I like studying for my tests and going to the gym sometimes.
I used to play a lot of cricket, but League's kind of taken over. So.
I've played a lot of tennis. Not too much at the moment, but yeah, I would still say tennis.
All right, and welcome back. We've got a couple of moments before we jump on in to Summoner's Rift for our first game of the night. Do you have any final thoughts about these two teams, given what they've picked?
Well, we've just got to look at the win conditions, right? So you've got one team coming out from 2 Easy, and they've got a Lucian. And any team composition that runs Lucian really loves to snowball off the mid game, right? So coming off the back of that, they have Shen as well. They want to come out of those team fights with not just an incredibly powerful AD carry, but also a very tanky Shen. So he needs to make sure he's using that ultimate that Stand United to get into those team fights and power through those dragons and win from the mid game.
All right, well, that's pretty cut and dry. And they've certainly got the tools as well to get that Lucian going, I feel. You know, the early pressure that can come out of Nidalee. They've got a lot of rotational power, I feel, as well. So if the straight-up team fighting thing isn't quite working out for them, then they do have a lot of flexibility in that. How do we feel about the villains?
Villains, it's a similar style, I'd like to say, but instead of fighting around objectives in the mid-game, they're going to be going for tower dives. Elise is an excellent champion to do that. With the ability to use Repel to juggle through the tower aggro. You'll be diving for someone like Echo if you put a focus on the top lane, who, again, very tanky, has the ultimate to get back, get out, sustain. So that's what they're going to be snowballing off in the mid-game, but they have a little bit more power through the late game with their rotational picks, just from that Sivir ultimate, and then the team fight power coming out from the Cassiopeia ults and the Braum ultimate as well.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, actually. Something 2 Easy have kind of put in there is the Victor. Like, it just gives them a little bit of a boost, I feel, in terms of straight up team fighting, and also just anti-siege. Like, they're probably not going to use it aggressively, I feel, but they can absolutely use that defensively in a siege situation, which kind of takes that option off the board for the villains, and also kind of makes it harder for them to go for those out-and-out team fights because of the zone control out of Victor. So I like that pickup for that reason. And I think it was kind of brave, if you will, to go ahead and pick Cassiopeia into that anyway, knowing that some of the team fighting strengths of Cassiopeia kind of got taken off the board. So I kind of feel like now villains have to go for a bit of a pick-oriented game as well.
Of course, we are now loading onto Summoner's Rift, the battlefield of tonight. Villains going up against Too Easy. We've got some stellar-looking team compositions. We're going to see how the teams play it out, see if they play safely at level 1, or if they're going to go for a little bit of shenanigans.
Shenanigans, maybe. Well, I believe actually it was Villains on Wednesday. A couple of times they decided to, to get a little bit funky with level 1 and not quite go for the straight defensive fan out that we know and love. But it does look like tonight it's just going to be good old defensive start from both of these teams. Something I have to say I absolutely agree with. I mean, as exciting as early action is, at the same time, it's kind of good to see both teams, playing it safe, playing it calm, taking their A game here, especially with how much is on the line tonight.
So just while we've got a bit of a calm moment at the start, careful Jack attack.
Watch out.
He's just warding. Doesn't get the ward kill there. But while we've got a moment to talk, just hopefully no one goes for any action against that Grom, we're going to talk about the villains, right? Particularly Shiny. Literally immortal so far in the tournament. He hasn't died a single time in the 2 games he's played already. So looking really strong and a player to beat tonight.
Pretty scary guy, to be honest. In fact, the whole Villains squad is looking quite scary tonight because, of course, out of the jungle, they've got Dolphs, who currently has, if I'm not mistaken, the highest kill participation, knocking about at, I think, 71%, which is a phenomenal number.
That's super important as well, coming up from a jungler. It shows that he's doing everything right. He's there for every kill on his team, able to participate, get every lane rolling that needs to be, and make sure he's there where his team is taking the gold leads. Now we're finally into the action, and the action is going to be taking a few PvE camps.
Yeah, well, both bottom lanes going to go ahead and start with that neutral camp. Something I've got to say, I completely agree with that. I absolutely like that they do that, but I feel like that just inherently favors the villains, purely because Braum takes a target once price. And that is going to let Shiny heal up just a little bit compared to Cupcake.
And of course, while there's normally quite a... Oh god, Rintoyama, oh! He's alright.
He's going to be able to heal himself back up. He is in Italy, but he's going to go straight on.
Straight on into the doggies.
He needs to be a little bit careful there. He can't afford to take too much damage. I don't think he's quite going to get executed, though.
But thanks for interrupting my point there, Rintoyama. But in any case, talking about the advantage that Lucian normally gets from level 2, it's always a very terrifying thing to go up against. But Shiny on that Sivir just has the wave clear to make sure he's the one that gets level 2 first. You can see they're already level 2, so if there was any action, we did kind of miss it. But Shiny, he's already dropped down to half health there.
Yeah, we saw the exact reason for that right there. Cupcake using those Qs, and of course using the mantra Q as well whenever he can to just get that extra poke damage down. Sivir is still fairly short range, especially when Lucian has a lot of bullying power. So, I mean, Shiny does have to be a little bit careful in that lane. Nice steal by Rintoyama on the Scuttle Crab.
And that came entirely off having that ward in the Pixel Bush right there. Absolutely important. I like the Pixel Bush because it's a single space. But in any case, that ward, super important to have in the early game, and we just saw the reason why. Picking up that Scuttle Crab, it's going to give vision of Dolphs, and if you have a look at the rest of the wards on the map, they've got the river completely covered in the bottom side of the map.
Oh, they've got it on absolute lockdown, and that's actually really useful here for Rintoyama, because it allows him to help put more pressure down. Whoa, scratch all that. Just double flashes being exchanged. Nothing too absurd just yet, but yeah, like I said, a lot of pressure can be put down on the bottom side of the map there because of that. We're just going to go ahead into a quick little pause there. I believe Shiny is actually having a few connection issues. He is a model. His net connection, not so much.
Well, in any case, what we just saw in the mid lane, really important for 2 reasons, right? First one is we know where Dolphs wants to focus, and that's the mid lane. If we look to last week's matchup, Kensti, while we talk about Dolphs being a great player, Kensti absolutely destroyed his lane opponents in both games, and they weren't even always the most favorable of matchups. He didn't have a lot of jungler attention either, so already dominating his lanes without the help of Dolphs for a lot of it. So the fact that Dolphs is showing attention this time means they absolutely want to snowball him, and Cassiopeia being a late game champion, really important.
Absolutely. And of course, the fact that RKL has now blown his flash as well, you know, it's more valuable on RKL than it is on Dolphs. Because of course, Dolphs can just kind of path well to get the drop on RKL, right? RKL on that Victor, super immobile, has little to no crowd control until he actually levels up the gravity well with that Hex Core. He does get the slow early on, but at least kind of doesn't care. I mean, once she's landed the stun, she's landed the stun. And if she really desperately needs, she can come on in with the repel to get the follow-up. She doesn't actually have to walk towards you. The displacement against the Cassiopeia is super important because that can kind of stop her from chasing you up. So I don't doubt we're going to see a return game from Dolphs.
The key thing to watch out for...
Golfs? Yeah.
No, that's definitely never going to catch.
Bit of a different one.
Yeah, but another key thing to watch, actually, is going to be where Rin Toyama reacts to this. We've already seen him be a little bit cheeky, steal the Rift Scuttler right out under from Dolph's nose. Bit of a cheeky thing to do there. But having seen one of his laners already ganked, we're going to have to see what he decides to do in response to that. Is he going to gank the top lane, maybe the mid lane to blow a flash on the enemy mid laner? But we're going to find out as the pause does, in fact, come to an end.
Back in game. And you actually talked about just how much of a vision lockdown there is. Even if that doesn't mean pressure for Rin Toyama, it does mean actually that this 2-easy bot lane can play very aggressively, very safely. Dolphs though is passed up to the top side.
Oh, typical
I believe
Dolphs.
he gets spotted out here. There's going to be some blows traded between him and Rin Toyama. And those Spiderlings can actually block up those spears. That's so cheeky. Yeah, there you have it.
Yeah, and in fact, it actually kills the Spiderling, so he doesn't even get the extra gap close that comes out from the pounce when you throw out the spear. But in any case, Dolphs showing his typical play style of very commonly, very oftenly moving into the enemy jungler. Speaking of that, though, Rin Toyama knows when to move in.
Yeah, this is a really great response here from Rin Toyama. Going to go ahead and steal away the Raptor camp, already with a bit of CS lead himself.
Oh,
Tends to happen with Ridley, but this is a sneaky one. The speed does go wide, but the exhaust is down. As the gravity field forces out a flash. No follow-up from Rin Toyama. Nice. Miasma is going to stop any kind of chasing from Rin Toyama. That is going to be the ghost blown as well from Kensti, though, so a lot of summoners out of the picture there.
Kensti does still have a health potion, so he can hang around for a little longer. RKL actually blowing one of his summoner spells.
That was his
as well.
exhaust there, so he's now out as well, along with Kensti.
So now he actually loses a lot of defensive power from that too, if Dolphs does show back up. If you can throw an exhaust onto Elise, it does negate a huge amount of the damage that comes out, which is a lot of what Elise brings to the gank. So pretty key that he's lost that summoner spell too.
Oh wow, Jack Attack. Doing a bit of bullying up in the top lane, looking a little bit healthier, and of course Bun Bun has to burn through a lot of mana. Does have a teleport to get back to lane though, so I expect that we will see that. And the game's still progressing kind of slowly despite some early aggressive moves, and it's actually 2-easy so far, coming out with really just a flat CS lead.
Yeah, Jack Attack actually on that Shadow Wall is going to be forced out of lane. He's got his teleport too. A little more important though, because once he gets level 6, Stand United's there, doesn't need to use the teleport to go help his other lanes.
Yeah, and that's actually kind of useful for him in this matchup, because he can just teleport back to lane now and still kind of have an advantage in terms of that global pressure. And with how Rin Toyama has been able to keep control of the vision game for now, I absolutely expect that we'll see 2-easy start pressuring around a dragon before long.
Rin Toyama, like you said, he needs to stay on that vision game because Dolphs so often walks into the enemy jungle. It's the reason that Rin Toyama was able to catch him out before. And even having a look at it, despite Dolphs having a presence in ganking the mid lane, Rin Toyama has done the same and kept ahead in the CS. So he's already doing a better job of Dolphs. And look at him now. He's going into the enemy jungle for even more vision.
Right as that ward expires, he is going to get spotted out by the Wolf Spirit, but that is going to expire in just a moment.
Ward.
Yeah, that is a really nice ward to go down there. I'm pretty sure it is known, and that also means Dolphs knows he can path around this top side of the jungle nice and safe, going to get some vision down for himself. But I think the most he can really do from this is get pressure maybe on RKL, and you know, there's a response line of deep warding anyway out of 2-easy. They know exactly where Dolphs has just been. This is really just allowing 2-easy to play quite aggressively here.
But the key thing about those deep wards is that it shows where Dolphs isn't. If he's not there, if he's not at Wolf Camp or at Raptor Camp, then he's probably in your own jungle. He's going to get spotted out here.
Yeah, they know exactly where he is. Jack Attack, he's not going to waste any time. Just goes ahead, taunts away. You know, it's kind of hard to bait that taunt out of a Shen, you know, especially when you know the jungler might be around. And yeah, here we go. Great move by Rin Toyama, making use of that vision dominance in the bottom area. Going to go ahead and siege down this turret. They know that mid is roaming in, so they can do this quite safely. Meanwhile, the villains are going to try and answer with the dive in the top lane. Dolphs, yeah, there's no energy for Jack Attack, but Dolphs is taking up the turret. Oh, Bun Bun taking a couple of shots. Looks like they're going to be able to get out, so a nice, clean first blood. No turret quite traded for that one. Really tight juggling of the aggro.
Yeah, Rin Toyama not able to put out the pressure to match it in the bottom lane. So no turret traded for that first blood.
Well, he can get some more CS.
Yeah, well, that's always important. But
Steal
Dolph's
the
going to steal the blue buff. Pretty important to take away from RKL. They're
Oh,
still going for a dive. The
yeah.
tower is low. This could be second
yeah,
blood.
and I like this. Jack Attack is back up. They're going to go ahead, Stand United. Oh, they pounce on in. They get a taunt on Shiny. They're going to be able to pick up that kill. Now they're looking for Perkle. He's going to be able to flash away, get safe under turret, but they pick up an initial demolition with that as well.
Picking up the bonus gold and also picking up the very first kill on Shiny. The first time he's died, he now officially has a KDA.
No longer immortal.
He now officially has a KDA as well, because of course it was undefined.
Yeah, when you got 0 deaths,
yes.
you don't have a KDA.
Yeah, it just comes up as blank. In any case, they're able to match the blue buff steal, but importantly, they've got the positioning around the dragon, taking down the turret, the AD carry, and they're ready to go.
Yeah, I mentioned this earlier. You know, they're in position to pressure a dragon. I expected we'd see that, and it's the perfect dragon for them, right? It is a mountain dragon, and this is a team comp that wants to be able to rotate and siege down turrets using that extra range and gank pressure, or rather dive pressure from them.
So how are the villains going to match this right now? They've got Dolphs hanging around in the top side of the map, hanging around that Rift Herald. He's got a lot of good deep vision down. He's going to need a hand to take out the Rift Herald, though. Yeah. And his top laner on the opposite side of the map, so it's not even going to go to a key member.
Exactly. You don't even have the guy you want to actually give that buff over to. Rin Toyama is going to be the one to stick around and finish off the dragon as well, so it allows the rest of his laners to actually get back into position. So while the villains are still finishing this off, Too Easy are already back at it and pressuring lanes, and this is going to cause Dolphs to back because he's taken so much damage. So that's actually really key there for Too Easy.
Yeah, so Dolph's actually having to recall. Perkle's coming back into lane on half HP. Blinky and Cupcake have arrived to take control of the top lane. Now,
started out
into the face.
Yeah. Shiny, he had to commit to pathing around that 8 almost every shot of that culling. Perkle was already low, now is Shiny low as well. Given how much poke they've already been taking, need to really consider whether they need to back off from this lane.
And Cupcake, of course, being on that Karma, can throw an immense amount of poke underneath that turret. They've also got Jag Attack on that Shen. Of course, actually, Stand United is quite a while away, so they're not actually going to be able to rely on that for a while. And, well, Rin Toyama still ages away from the top lane. Tons of vision there anyway. The Dolphs nearby. They are going to be safe in the top lane, but they may need to commit resources.
That they might. Still a little while away on the Stand United out of Jack Attack. He's actually about to get the teleport, so both players can catch that. Oh, never mind all that. They're just going to go ahead and commit. It's going to be hard to teleport into this one. Going to go ahead with the root on Perkle. He uses the ult and the heal. They're committing a teleport. Blinky needs to be careful he doesn't get stunned, but if they just get the damage on Shiny first, it's not going to matter. He's forced out. Now Bun Bun is here, wants to go deep, looking for Blinky. There's going to be support though from Rin Toyama. He knew it was happening. Comes on up to react, keeps Blinky alive.
He went back to the bottom lane.
Oh, yeah. No, he didn't even die. He was able to get back into that ult. Oh, Jack Attack! Oh! Nice turnaround there using the dodge field from the Spirit Sword. So, Bun Bun going all the way back to the bottom lane, still got punished. Really great move by Too Easy, just totally leveraging the pressure they have to its maximum effect.
Totally highlight worthy right there, but in any case, let's take a breather. It might be 3-1 in the kills, and in fact, you're actually seeing Too Easy with a gold lead. They're going to pick up another turret as
Makes
well.
Makes it even bigger.
Yeah, they already got the initial demolition, that first turret gold. Picking up a second one, going to compound that, give them more map presence. So eyes are going to be locked on the mid lane one, though. That's the one to get.
Dolph's now picking up that bottom side scuttle crowd. Dragon's still a while away, so really this feels like a bit of a lame consolation prize for Dolphs. He will be able to clear out some vision as well, but this signals to Too Easy exactly where Dolphs is. They know exactly where they can put down the pressure. Oh, here we go! Oh, dashes forward, loses the mobility. They're going to throw the Shen on top of him. He's going to be able to stay alive for now. He does live, does die just as Jack Attack arrives. Now Jack Attack's in trouble, gets stunned up, uses the shield, Cupcake in to try and help Jack Attack out. They get a total Kenzie and Rin Toyama's here. They want to go in for this. The only one he catches with the spear is Perkle, but he might be able to do the damage. He's certainly got it. And RKL has arrived as well with the Chaos Storm down. Kenzie on the run with that ghost. They force the flash out of Dolphs as well. He is limping away, 1-for-1 trade now, but a ton of members of the Too Easy squad in the mid lane.
And you can actually see villains are sitting up in these separate side lanes, while the mid lane turret might be under pressure.
They're trying to answer.
It is wave clear. Villains are trying to get something in the side lanes, and I think they can even hold this mid lane with the wave clear.
Yeah, they actually can, and really it's the miasma. They are respecting the damage out of Kenzie, but Kenzie now has to back away. They're also able to send Blinky up to the top lane. Shiny will get the turret anyway, and it will be unanswered for now, but this mid turret does kind of feel like it's Too Easy, it's just not yet.
So as we take a bit of a breather, still 2,000 gold ahead. This mid lane turret took a bit of damage. That's mostly just a team fight, but Shiny!
Shiny really overstayed there. Blinky, he knows he's going to be able to get the kill. That's actually kind of disastrous. They didn't trade turret for turret, but trading turret for kill is kind of just as good, given that, like I said, mid turret, probably not long for this world.
So while it looks like they're playing to their win condition, too easy, they've got the mid-game power spike, they've actually got Blinky, 2 kills, a completed item. But the key thing is to look at, Gold is not too far behind considering what has happened. You look at the top lane, the middle lane, CS leads just traditionally for the Villains, particularly Kensti, who's always outplayed his opponent.
Well, and that was actually the other way around not too long ago either. Blinky had a CS lead himself in the bottom lane. That has now been evened up. Top lane was, I think, fairly even, if a little in favor of Jack Attack. Jungle has stayed in favor of Rin Toyama, but mid has had a complete reverse from the early parts of the game, and that's really how Villains are kind of holding on despite the turret and dragon deficits.
It's still leaving room for too easy to play to that win condition, though. Like I said, Jack Attack, he's got a completed item. That turret is so low. Should go down in the next rotation. There's a lot of members around, but too easy. They've got a ton of vision around their next target.
And the thing is, once that outer turret goes down, it lets Too Easy put down even more vision. The fact that they're already controlling it as well as they are means they know exactly what their win condition is, and they know that they're ahead now.
And actually, Rin Toyama picking up that needlessly large rod, and in a siege situation, those spears landing on any target right now, no one's had time to get tanky enough. So they're going to be doing chunks of damage. And the turret goes down.
Yeah, they're already setting up for the siege on the next one as well. And because there's a brawl happening in the bottom lane, and the top lane is nowhere near the fight, actually Kensi was sent up top. Never mind all that, they're going to go ahead and make a collapse on Bun Bun here to take him out of the picture before they start up the siege. Going to be able to knock him down nice and quick. Cullen going on to him. That ultimate is not going to help him. Jack Attack picking up the kill. Blinky committing a bit to that. Villains are trying to answer with a rotation into the mid lane, but Rin Toyama does need to be careful. But the rest of the team will be able to collapse before long. Dark Ale already thrown down. Oh, the storm! Doing a ton of damage. Dulce's going to drop back down pretty much the same position. It's going to be hard for him to get out of this one. Actually, the laser's going to do enough. Now Cupcake looking to get the rune onto Perkle. The spear lands. Rin Toyama gets that one. And the Villains are just struggling.
And Villains, this could be the very first game they've actually lost. Still undefeated, not just in this tournament as well. And
like the last 7 tournaments?
Last 7, and I've heard very many numbers on that front. But in any case, too easy. Looking to take down the tier 2 mid-turret. They've got a nice amount of vision around it. They've got a lot of poke to keep Shiny away. He can't even get a range to Boomerang Blade, and it falls.
And they've sent Jack Attack as well to go ahead and deal with Kensi in the side lane. So again, Villains cannot answer this. A dragon has just spawned as well. Too Easy going to take even more off this map, about 4.5k gold ahead.
And that is a Cloud Drake playing exactly into what they need to do. They've got the mid-game snowball. Now with the... they're actually going to not go for the dragon. Actually, probably a good call.
Yeah, they're respecting the team fight. Absolutely.
Yeah, but it's also important for Villains to take it away from them, because I'm going to mention, they don't have Cassiopeia nearby. It's a good ghost to get there quicker, but you can also see his pathway is completely rewarded as well. So despite Too Easy not getting the dragon, they drop down in crucial amounts of vision.
Yeah, the Villains are able to get themselves a little bit more back on the board for that, picking up that dragon. I think the other reason Too Easy did not go for that is, of course, they'd picked up a couple of kills, bunch of gold, but they actually had not gone and spent it. So now they're going to be a little bit more confident going into these fights, going into these sieges with that gold lead now a little bit more solidified in items. And speaking of...
Yeah, well, you've got to look at Jack Attack's items as well. A fully completed Spirit Visage means he's got the magic resist to match 3 of the key damage dealers coming out from the Villains right now, that Echo, Elise, and Cassiopeia. So what do? You just dive on the Shiny, the only guy who can actually damage you, taunt him up, and then kill him before the team fight's over, and then you're going to be immortal for the rest of the fight.
Really smart call by Jack Attack. You see that often when teams commit to that double AP in the mid and top, and given that Jack Attack's been able to get ahead, makes it a little bit hard for Villains to execute on that team fight that they maybe wanted to find. Also makes it a little bit safer for Too Easy to potentially use that. We spoke to the Victor, helping them do that, so it really just means more options for Too Easy on how they might want to win this game. The other option, of course, is Pix, and Bun Bun, he's looking in a little bit of trouble in this bottom lane.
Same mistake he made earlier. He's realised it now because of the vision that they've got down.
He's got away with it.
He's got to be careful. When he's got no tier 1 turret down there, he doesn't have anywhere to retreat to.
And he feels a lot of safe because you can see how much vision the Villains put down around the Dragon Pit, but
it's all gone.
It's nearly gone, and it doesn't mean much when they're rotating through your jungle, not their jungle.
Now, they're playing a good rotational game here, flicking between the two lanes. That next key target is going to be that tier 2 bottom lane turret. Rin Toyama can hang around the side, throw spears down, get that poke down, along with Cupcake on the Karma, and with the Mountain Drake, should rip this turret to shreds.
That it absolutely should. There is a little bit of time pressure on them. Oh, hold on, never mind all that, because Blinky's got caught up. It's going to just have to be a fight. Mackenzie's not going to be here for it. He's taking Wild to roam on in. No one has died just yet. A lot of blinking health plus though on Too Easy now. Mackenzie arrives off to the side, going to see if he can find anyone zoning. Already the cover off in the fight. The dash away from Blinky. He's trying to get out. The Bun Bun's deep on him. A nice taunt though is going to stop Bun Bun in his tracks. They do trade one back. The villains for Jack Dex found another. Then they get another. And another one. And another one. Not quite the other ones yet. The last three, they're not long for this world. Rin Toyama does finally drop between Jack Attack. In fact, with just Jack Attack. No, they don't have the damage because Shiny was able to get through untouched. It felt like they just had it in the bag, but really, really clean, tidy play by the villains, keeping Shiny alive, zoning the support off from the fight, and they do put themselves back on the board. The thing I was just saying a moment ago is there is time pressure for Too Easy because Kenzie has been off in side lanes, ramping up in power. They cannot let him do that.
Yeah, very often we actually saw just so many fights happening with Kenzie off in the side lanes. It even happened in that matchup. Villains knew they had the time to push Too Easy off the turret and then have time for Kenzie to arrive not only just from behind with the villains, but actually from the flank. And was able to get down a lot of zoning pressure, actually cut Cupcake off from the rest of the fight.
I feel like that was quite significant.
Oh, hang on though.
Oh, Jack Attack maybe pulling a bit of a bun here. He does have his team pretty close by. I think he's going to be safe. And he's pretty tanky as well, but yeah, like I said, Cupcake probably could have kept Blinky alive a few crucial moments longer, and there was no response dive from Too Easy. They want to fight more in the rivers than they do in the lanes, and maybe even use those choke points.
They know Shiny's low and actually cut off on the rest of his team, so they're moving in and at the very worst going to drop a ton of vision. Drop a ward there, it's about to expire, come on. Oh well.
Not quite going to bother.
Not going to have vision there.
Yeah, it looks like they're just kind of setting up these lanes. They're going to go ahead and do what they did before, just maybe try not to commit to a fight too much if they can help it. Take it a little bit slower. Like I said, sieging, not quite their forte. Oh, Archael. Maybe in a bit of an awkward spot in that rotation. Actually did get stunned by the parallel convergence. I mean, he had Blinky there. He probably wasn't going to be in too much trouble, but they do still have to respect Bun Bun's damage on their squishy targets.
Still a half health Archael after that. He's going to get some of his health back. He'll be all right, as long as it's before the next team fight. In any case, Too Easy are doing a very similar thing to what they did before, but the difference is Villains already have everyone ready to defend this turret. Villains are calling what Too Easy's game is and matching it.
And a lot less vision this time as well for Too Easy. That gold lead not quite as big as last time either, so they didn't quite get it right the first time, and now the stakes are a little bit higher. Looks like they might go for a bit of a Baron play instead.
Of course, can't quite go for the Baron just yet. Do need to complete that vision control around the big purple worm. And you just don't have the big purple worm. Well, it's very easy for anyone that doesn't know who the heck Baron is.
You just say the giant snake.
The giant snake.
Snake in the pool.
Yeah, no, I think there are too many names we can give this one, but Villains, they know that Too Easy have headed back to home, or at the very least are very split up. Dolph's going to go in for a warding journey, maybe a little bit too far on his own. Needs to be super careful.
They know that they can actually still burst down a squishy target if they get a big catch. I mean, we kind of mentioned that in the Champion Select as well. Jack Attack is basically the only tank for Too Easy, so they do still need to respect the damage that can come out of the villains if they get a catch, if they get a pick, and Dolphs can definitely set those up.
We talked about the sieging potential of Too Easy a whole lot, but Villains, they bring a lot on their own. They've got Sivir for the wave clear, they've got the pick potential underneath the turrets coming up from Dolphs, and diving coming up from Bun Bun. But with 30 seconds to go for the Dragon, it's not going to be about diving, it's going to be about the objective control.
Yeah, and you can imagine these teams might want to go ahead and trade objectives as well, so this is really going to be on to who is able to pick up the Baron out of that trade.
But it's going to be key. Who gets the vision right now? We've seen Villains actually kick Rin Toyama out of their own jungle. He's left 1 or 2 wards there.
Hasn't cleared out anything in the Baron pit yet.
Really needs a whole lot more. But the key thing from both teams, like you said, not clearing wards yet. Oh, Cupcake walked into a death bush.
He does, but Dolphs might be the one going to die here. The root not quite going to connect as Cupcake smartly backs out. But that means Dolphs, if he commits to this Dragon, is going to be doing it a little bit subpar in the health department. All members of both teams going to start rotating in for this one, though, and actually it's Villains kind of backing away for a moment here.
Yeah, with Dolphs dropping in the health bar department a little bit too much there. Didn't want to back off. Neither team has huge amounts of vision control. Villains definitely don't have any vision behind the Dragon right now, so it's going to give Too Easy the chance to move in, drop wards. You can see, they can't even see the Dragon at all.
Yeah, and because there's enough damage from Too Easy, they're going to be able to pick this one up. Ocean Drake for them, bit more gold in the pocket, nice pickup, and Villains aren't even going to be able to trade that one for a Baron. In fact, all of their Baron vision has now expired, so Villains...
Call on the back foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, normally you want to match objectives for at least something. Maybe not of equal value, but at least something.
You want to be on the front foot.
Instead, just getting maybe a little bit of CS, not even getting a huge amount of vision control. They have the opportunity now, while Too Easy are going for recalls, to move in, and I've been saying it before, I'm going to say it again, getting vision control around Baron. They have a good team fight for Baron just because Kensti brings so much damage in a certain area.
I'd really like to see them maybe go ahead and try and set up for a siege on this top inner turret. Certainly an easier one to crack, for now at least, than that bottom one.
Can it be quite...
yeah, they need a lot of vision control for that.
Villains might be matching that though, because they've got a ton of pink wards up in that top side of the map. But unfortunately for them, Too Easy going to go back to the same bottom side of the map, maybe hang around the middle side. Too Easy though. They've had great vision control in the early game.
Cupcake's just a one-man army clearing out.
Yeah, Cupcake. Got to be careful when you do that though. Warding and clearing wards, you've got to do that with your jungler.
There is a bit of a collapse potential though, so it feels fairly safe doing it. Going to get some deep vision of his own down. That one does get swift out, but certainly does look like Too Easy going to set up for a siege here on this inner turret and bottom lane.
Key thing for Too Easy to do, fine. Trust me. But the thing for Too Easy to do, apparently it's this.
Yeah, it is this. They're going to try and get the dive onto Kensti first as well. Committed to Chaos Storm. RKL Flash, going to try and get the damage. A nice stunner from Kensti, but they've got the standing out onto Blinky to keep him alive. They do lose RKL. That Blinky dashing away over the wall. He's trying to fight, but he hasn't got any protection. They're focusing Dolks as the wrong member. He does not deal the damage. It is Shiny dealing the damage alongside Bun Bun. They pick up a double kill onto him. Cupcake miles away from this fight. Absolutely no help. The Team Jack does scoop up one on the back side of it, picking up Dolks at long last, but he drops down, and again the Villains find a favourable fight on the back foot.
Shiny completely untouched in that fight, positioning superb, using the wall to his advantage. What are Villains going to pick up from this? They've got the option at 2 turrets in the mid lane or the Baron. With only Cupcake alive, it's going to be very hard for him to contest either of those.
And to be honest, it really feels like Too Easy are going for fights they don't need. They committed a few too many resources to Kensti. They did not have all their members in position to fight, and they absolutely paid for it there. They can't afford to make that mistake again. As much as they're still ahead, that lead has shrunk, and we are later in the game where the percentage lead is also much, much smaller.
24 minutes into the game. Death time is not super long right now, so Too Easy going to be back out the door straight away. They've now got the chance, while the Villains have recalled, to go get all those wards around the top side of the map. With Dragon light years away, we're going to see the Baron as the next main target.
They're already going to go ahead and clear out the vision for that one. Too Easy. Gonna maybe take it a little bit, not necessarily slow, but certainly a bit more cautiously. Need to get a bit more gold back in the pockets again. A little bit of that has been chipped away again by the CS. Now has completely swapped hands in that bottom lane.
Yeah, and Villains moving in with a commanding presence. They've got Echo coming in from the top lane. Bun Bun going to be able to bring that flank. Scuttle Crab is there for the Too Easy right now. So they've got command and control around there. Jack Attack, he might be ages away, but he's got Stand United.
Actually, not just yet. He has to commit with the teleport. That's, it's probably about to come up.
I'm pretty sure it's up now.
Yeah, it was only like if the Villains went for it right then that it wasn't up, but that is now a cooldown available for them. Bun Bun actually doesn't have his teleport at all, so ideal situation is to actually draw out Bun Bun here and then go ahead, clear out that vision if you are Too Easy.
And if you're the Villains, you're looking to blow Jack Attack, Stand United, or teleport, bring him into the field. And we can actually see Too Easy. They picked up a Guardian Angel on Jack Attack. That means
I really like that.
They're looking at the next fight as the most important fight.
Well, it's really, really crucial as well because Jack Attack has been able to do a lot of work, even just in terms of damage, if not tankiness, in these fights. So having to kill him twice, not an ideal situation, especially if you can land a taunt onto Shiny. That would be absolutely key in the next fight. Bun Bun now drawn out to this bottom lane without that teleport, so this is the opportunity here for Too Easy to make a bit of a power play across the map. They are at least going to clear out some Baron vision.
And you can see them actually moving in. They have the opportunity. We've got Shiny pushing down the mid lane, maybe a little bit too far forward. He's all right. He's going to be fast enough. But Too Easy, they need to either get vision control or just straight out start the Baron to draw something out of the Villains right now, because they've got the advantage in the bot lane, but for how long?
Yeah, Bun Bun, he does do a little bit of damage now compared to before. Jack Attack not quite going toe-to-toe. It's still fairly even. It's still mostly a wet noodle fight.
Neither of those guys are
well, I mean, Jack Attack's noodle is a little bit soggier.
That is disgusting.
Or like when you leave your ramen in the bowl for too long. Come on, man.
I get it. It's not going to do a whole lot.
Because it's a wet noodle fight. You know what? You know what? I have earned no judgment from you for that comment.
All right, no, it's all right. It's common. It's a common saying, and you worked it well. In any case, though, every time Too Easy command control around the Baron, get the wards down, villains are there seconds later to clear those wards. And look at the map right now. It's painted red around the Baron. It doesn't help that the Baron buff itself is actually kind of a bit red. So it's purple, but you know, it's closer already.
Yeah, villains, even when they've got a little bit of a gold deficit, still able to clear vision fairly safely. Playing a little bit of chicken there, maybe wanting to set up a bait. Too Easy, they know better, they're not going to commit to that, but this does give villains the positional advantage over the Baron. Means Too Easy if they wait for too long going, no, that's definitely a bait.
Oh, here we go.
Some things being committed. Rintoyama, he's going to have to dash away over the wall. I think he's going to be able to get out as On the Hunt will eventually expire. That wasn't ultimate committed. Quite a short cooldown one though, and it does reveal what the villains were planning. Doesn't really give Too Easy much info.
Now with a major cooldown down, Too Easy are still going for this Mountain Drake. It's dropping very quickly, but look at the villains. They're moving up towards that Baron. They've got the teleport ready for Bun Bun. They're going for a trade.
Yeah, but it might be a little bit too late because the dragon is already gone. Unless they can get this Baron down really fast, it's going to be a collapse here. It is going
Look how
quickly.
fast it's going down.
Already below half health. They don't have Bun Bun yet, but he does have teleport. They do pick up the Baron, and this means Too Easy to commit to a fight. There's already the ultimate out from Braum. He eats a whole culling and drops down. No, Johnny's caught! That's the key one! At the top of the fight, they find it. That means Too Easy have total precedence as the villains scatter to the four winds. Dolphs drops down, and only Kensti and Bun Bun get away. Bun Bun as well, not even running in the ideal direction. This means Too Easy can run down towards that base.
They need to send Jack Attack there to clear the minions anyway, so he'll be able to deal with them, or at least keep Bun Bun from recalling. Too Easy are going to clear through this inhibitor. There's only Kensti alive. He's got no ultimate. Dolphs is miles away.
Remember last time as well, they dove Kensti, and it was because there was follow-up that he got out alive. This time, there's no one to save him. Bun Bun has only just arrived, and there is still a numerical advantage for Too Easy. And here they're going to go, commit a stand united, onto Rintoyama's back. They're just going to go ahead, take this inhibitor if they can. Actually, no, a shiny back up in a couple of seconds. They don't quite get it. They do get a turret, ends up being a 1-for-1. Good for Too Easy, but not as good as it could have been. Kensti really cleared up well there.
So they do actually still have a few members with the Baron buff, so they can go for a siege. Pretty key members as well, Bun Bun and Kensti, both going to be on very different sides of the battlefield, particularly when split pushing comes to the table. Bun Bun, no teleport though, so if they're going to split push, it's all or nothing.
And the key thing there though was that time around, Too Easy were able to get a favourable fight, picking up Shiny very quickly. Whoa, never mind all that. They're going to go ahead and commit because it's spotted. But Blinky's not there. Archaeo's already dropped down. Cupcake the focus now. Jack Attack, he can't take up all of those people at once as Bun Bun finds another. This is a terrible misposition by Too Easy. Blinky only just arriving to the side of the fight. Rintoyama goes in to scoop one up as the Guardian Angel pops. He's going to come back up, but I don't think they can really pull on the damage. Blinky's going to try and go for it, but he's too far forward. He picks up one. Perkle onto him now. They do get one back. He goes on. Bun Bun going deep onto him. Rintoyama tries to get one back, but Kensti and Bun Bun, the last men standing, are able to just barely pull it out, and they were the ones who held the Baron buff too.
And that is the ace. No one is alive to defend this inhibitor turret. The first person up is going to be Archaeo. They can take down this turret, but
I don't know if they can get an inhibitor. I don't think they can finish the game. For a moment I thought, well, maybe the death time is long. Cupcake is going to come up in a second. But this inhibitor going down is crucial. It means that even if Too Easy get the mid inhibitor, it's actually even Stevens for them. It does not equate to a lead anymore. Too Easy completely caught out. Did not expect the villains to go aggressive and did not respect the Baron buff still being up on two members.
Key thing to remember against a Sivir composition is any moment they can be rushing straight underneath your turret. You've got your AD carry in the bottom lane. Of course he's not going to be there in time. Villains are going to notice that their macro play has been one of their biggest strengths with Dolph's shot calling. So they always know when the key moment to go in is.
Of course, by the time Blinky arrived, front line was kind of donezo. In any case, they were able to kind of keep it fairly even. The villains did walk away with the advantage. Now the gold dead even means the villains are going to get total control over this dragon pit. Still a while away for Elder Drake though.
Bun Bun, he's a little far forward, but he's got his team to back him up.
Actually,
they're actually moving in.
They want to go for Jack Attack. It's going to take a while to burst him down, but if they can get him, that is a good start there because he's the only tank of the team. They don't quite get him, but they are going to be able to seek down this turret.
And in the middle lane as well, Super Minions are continuing to push. They can set up the siege and leave the Super Minions to do their work for them. Leave Too Easy to send someone off and answer. They've got Shen, so they've got the tools to do it, but this turret is dropping so quickly.
Yeah, they can't commit to a fight. Blinky going to use the culling just not even on the minions, which would be the usual thing there. Tried to get them onto Kensti, and there's going to be the commit now for the villains. They've already gone in, catching Jack Attack first. He's tanking up as many as he can, but here's going to be the recollapse by Too Easy if they can find the right angle. But no, villains are ducking and weaving and have already found Jack Attack now with no frontline tank. I don't know if Too Easy can even pick someone. They're trying to duck and weave all the same, but it is so hard on that miasma field. And now villains again going to play patient with Super Minions pouring in the mid lane. They can take their time.
They just need to continue the pressure. Look at that Nexus turret, already half HP, a Super Minion still punching its face. This inhibitor turret is about to fall, and Too Easy don't have the numbers to contest it.
Perkle's the only one who's low, and he isn't even the one you want to go after. You're looking for Shiny or Kensti, but you can't even get past
Perkle!
Kale, he finds Perkle on the back line, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Dolphs goes sky high. They do get an inhibitor. Too Easy going to try and look for a rundown. Bun is still actually really tanky, and they don't have the movement speed to chase down the villains here. Bun, even just stutter stepping is making Too Easy reconsider. But Blinky wants it, goes out of culling. Kensti is going to stop up any more chase. They're still respecting the damage, as they should. I don't know if they're not even sure if they're committing to the chase here. They're using some things, and then they're kind of ducking back. Smart call, though. They do not lose a Nexus turret, crucially, but with 2 inhibitors down now, Too Easy's lead has evaporated completely.
Too Easy can't afford to chase like that again. That could have so easily gone wrong, and they would have lost Nexus turrets to Super Minions. Right now, they've got to keep calm, stay inside their base, keep it alive, and get their feet back on the ground. 2 inhibitors down. They've got a long time to stay in this fight, and with Baron and Dragon about to come up, they're going to lose some objectives here, I've got to say.
No doubt. They definitely cannot go for the team fights now. We weren't even able to find them when they were ahead. Too Easy. Now need to try and get their feet back in this game, and they have to kind of do that by fighting. They really need to wait for the villains to come to them, or perhaps even catch them out of position.
Of course, you might have a fight here. Both teams know that they have the ability to win a fight, but villains so far have proven that they've been the winners of the last few team fights. With the gold lead, with the position on the Dragon, it could be suicide for Too Easy to contest here, but they've got to do something.
Yeah, they want to at least try. They're going to go ahead and commit to this Drake here.
They can't.
Yeah, exactly. If they do, then Bun just kind of keeps pressure up on the top side. They kind of want to try, though. Oh, they need to not go too deep onto Dolphs. Dolphs is actually going to go up into the air. When he drops back down, he doesn't even
the teleport.
Oh, that's a sneaky escape from Dolphs. And yeah, the teleport committed now. They have to commit. Yeah, Bun is going to come in from the flank. But Too Easy have been able to get out. Now they're going to look to regroup, getting the cutting down on as many people as they can. Oh, but they're all into the Cassiopeia. Oh, they're finding one in Jack Attack, but he hasn't been able to land a taunt just yet. This is just the villains keeping Too Easy corralled. Too Easy, though. They want to try and commit to a fight. They don't want to get pinched, though. If they commit to this side, then Bun gets behind them. And that's exactly what he's doing, is he finds Archael. The rest of Too Easy are trying to find villains, but they're just scattering away. Not going to let it happen. While the Super Minions are busy at work in the base. They've already got 1 Nexus turret. Too Easy cannot do this any longer. And if someone dies, oh no! Archael going down! Now the villains are looking for more. They've committed in Bun. He's looking for Blinky. They don't quite find him. Shiny getting taunted up, but there's going to be no follow-up for Too Easy because they cannot afford to fight here. Rin Toyama totally split from his team. The other 3 members are trying to run back to the base, but it's just not safe. Jack Attack finally falls down. Bun is only going to lose their Guardian Angel. Villains with all of their members, with all of the time and all of the pressure. They're going to find Rin Toyama any second now. I don't know if they have enough health bars to really close it out.
It doesn't matter. Honestly, the Super Minions on the base, they have arrived to defend it. Rin Toyama heading back in.
Well, he's just kind of wasting Perkle's time, and they're not going to fall for it here. But the rest of them, look, they're already committing to the Nexus. They want to go in for it. They don't even bother with the inhibitor. They're just right on top of this one. The Super Minions had already done the work. The villains, even with Too Easy retreating, even with them getting that health back up, they had done just enough that they could close out the game. Wow.
Whoa. Too Easy. It was looking so good for them in the mid game when they had the Lucian snowballing, the Shen getting ahead and becoming an incredibly tanky front line, and then Villain's macro play kicked in, backed up by the fact that they were still winning in CS. And they do this every game.
Exactly. And the thing is, Too Easy established a really strong early lead, and they had a good win condition that they had already started executing on. And then they stopped executing on it. They went for dives, they went for fights, and that was where the Villains wanted to be winning the game. That was how they were able to get back in. So what Too Easy can walk away from that with is they know they can get an early lead over the Villains. They just need to execute a little bit cleaner. We're going to go ahead and see if they can execute a little bit cleaner on Game 2, or where the Villains are going to pick up their second 2-0 now of the NZGC. We'll be back right after these messages.
Every challenge is a call to play smarter, to push further, to be better. That's why we put every aspect of gaming under the microscope. We are Logitech G. Gaming is our passion. Winning is our pursuit. Science is our method.